Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining
Mm-hmm.
us here. If it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We appreciate all the listeners, new and old. And let me introduce myself. My name is Matt. I'm here with my co-host.
My name is Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out on all streaming services. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials at the Friends Pod on Instagram.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it. What's been going on with you? The past, couple of days and whatnot.
So it's right after the New Year's. New Year's went pretty good. Pretty much just reflecting on life for the year, trying to learn new lessons, and try to set new goals for yourself in the new year. I know that you said that you were doing that. Anything you wanted to share?
No, not necessarily. I mean, just really monetary goals. Um, just really trying to make sure that I'm set up for the future, you know what I mean? But really just trying to spend money better because even looking at my statement from December and November, like the spending is crazy. Like I'm just spending money like I just got it like that. And I got money, but it's always a better way to manage things. So that's kind of what I'm trying to learn in 2023 and beyond. Because really it's a lifelong thing. Like if I don't get this shit right now, it's gonna be it's gonna be hemorrhaging, for a long time. So,
Does your
but
bank
yeah,
like split it up into like different things so you can see it easier, or do you have to like physically look at it yourself and make like a spreadsheet or something?
no, yeah, of course, like the transaction history and shit like that. So just looking through that, looking through my like credit history, looking at my credit report on Credit
Mm-hmm.
Karma and all that. 'Cause I've been watching a lot of like financial advice and financial wellness type stuff like lately. So I just been kind of in that kick, just trying to get my finances all the way together. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with me. To answer the question that you didn't ask yet, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Just trying to, like I said before, on the 2022 wrap up, just kind of recalibrate and kind of do it like that. But yeah, man. So we can go ahead and get into this first topic. I don't know where you want to take it first, so I'll go ahead and let you intro that first one.
All right, so I had saw like some posts online going around about reparations, and I feel like more people are starting to talk about it, and the law seems to start at the ground level right now. I know there was some reparation talks in California. I know
Mm-hmm.
reparations talks and how would that look like, and studies and things are being done. So I kind of want to just ponder on that a bit and think about it in a different way. So if reparations was given, would it actually do better for our race, you think? Like what do you think will happen?
I feel like it depends on how much. So how much? Let's paint a picture. So like, how much we talking like per person?
I throw out the number that I seen on the article for California. They were talking about 350,000 per resident
Like per household?
for every black person.
For every person, so like babies to old folks.
Yeah, like every black person would get $350,000.
Hmm.
Descendant of slaves, and their ancestors were had free labor, so being paid was rightfully due, in a sense.
I mean, shit, man. I feel like you can't fuck off 350,000. So it's like some people probably gonna fuck it off, but for the most part, like you can't really. Like, yeah, okay. So for example, if I got it, we talking about improving. If it would improve the community. Like if I got it, I spent
Yeah, I
fifty
just
k.
imagine like what would that do for our community as black people if we were given our reparations? Like what do you think will happen for us as a people and ourselves as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it on like a whole, like a macro sense. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I said, it's hard to fuck that shit off. So it's like, yeah, people might fuck around and just buy some random shit. I'm gonna buy, what I'm saying, a new Bentley and a new whatever the fuck. But I feel like it could, it'll definitely. I would hope that it would help people, that's struggling and need to go rob and need to go trap and all that shit. I would hope that would be. incentive for them to take that and invest it into something legal. That would be great. Like that's what I would hope for.
So let's stop there for a second. Do you think crime and stuff would change for Black communities if everyone got the money?
See, that's what I don't know. That's what I don't know. Like the people that's you know but what, one thing about that, like people that do be trapping and people that do, well, I'll just say, like, trapping and whatnot, like that you have to have that's a skill. You know what I mean? Like that's business acumen right there. So it's like I said, I would hope that they would take that money, go put it into, let me go buy a t-shirt press so I can make t-shirts. So let me go buy, what I'm saying, A, B, or C. You know what I mean? I would hope that it would decrease crime, but um I don't know. I feel like when people stuck in their ways, it just kind of is what it is. They might just want to stay doing what the fuck they doing because they know that's profitable. I don't even want to switch my, you
I
know.
feel like that's a common excuse that I hear from drug dealers and things like that. They'd be like, "Oh, my record," and things of that nature. So I'm not able to go and do these businesses or normally on credit and things of that nature. Um, and they don't want to do remedial jobs, so to say, like fast food stores, because the money's not enough to really, let's be real, it's not going to help an entire family. So that's why they try to look for different ways to hustle and to get money. There's always different ways: get a trade, learn how to fix up houses, whatever that be.
But you know what? Let me stop you there because you said something that sparked something like people that's coming out of the. We know that America is, we have the most incarcerated citizens of the whole world. You know what I mean, percentage wise, right? And a lot of them are black, and a lot of them, they get out, and like you said, they be like, I can't find no job, I can't find no good job because I got this record, and they won't hire me. So I would hope that them folks in jail, they can get out, and they be like, oh, I got something now. Like I got, because everybody don't come home to money. Everybody don't come home to. Some people come home to nothing. So it's like, I would
Right.
hope that, like,
So
that
they
they
ain't got to
could
go
be.
straight back to what they were doing before. The people who do want to
Hmm.
actually change their life and figure something else out like a legit way, I feel like that would help um, in the aspect of crime. Because I know there's definitely like this perspective that nothing would really change if everybody got the money. Like everybody would just go and get crab leg boils and go get a new car. Um, you really can't buy. You can buy a house for sure with that much money, depending where you at.
Of course, yeah. That's a good down
Um,
payment at least.
yeah, it's a down payment. Yeah, depending where you are. Um, yeah, but once you buy a couple of those things, like the money is gonna be pretty much gone.
I think that what it should come with, though, like it should come with. Listen, we don't want to tell people what to do, but I feel like it should come with some type of financial training, because we all know, not even just black people, but it's people of all, colors and creeds that don't know how to manage their money, because we weren't taught that shit in school. So it's like, if they gave it to us and it was like, all right, well,
Yeah,
S&P
exactly.
500, like this index fund, do that, or this is how start a business, or this is how you do this, that, and the third. This is how you budget, and things of that nature. I feel like that would
Yeah,
definitely help.
like you put at least six figures in a savings account. Like I feel like that's what everyone should do. Like immediately off jump. That's gonna pretty much keep that generational money continuously coming in and continuously growing over time. Especially for the kids,
For
like
the kids, they'll be good though, because
in
they can really
school and
put
stuff
that
like
shit
that.
up. They can put
Exactly.
that, like, they don't really need nothing if they had like a 9-year-old little girl. Like, what she need for real?
Yeah, and
Like,
about, thinking about it, they had a young girl, and then wait till they about 18 or out of college or school, whatever they want to do. If
mm-hmm,
they even got the choice where they don't even necessarily got to go to school. Like they might, by the time they're 18, that 350 grand could be $1 million by the time they're up to age.
mm-hmm. Put it in a
So
high yield savings account. Yep.
yeah, so they're gonna do, since they're so young, they're gonna put like very high risk to try to get bigger gains, because you can take more risk when you're younger usually. And people normally scale back on risk and stuff when
Mm-hmm.
they get older.
But yeah, I
Um,
don't know. I would like to think that it would definitely. it'll help us. You know what I mean? Like it'll help the people that's really down bad.
More
Like,
businesses for sure would pop up, I believe.
I don't know if everybody needs a business though. Like, I don't know if that will be. I don't even know if that will work if everybody has a business. Then who gon'
Black Wall Street.
I mean, but that wasn't everybody having a business. Like that was dope. You know what I'm saying? Even Atlanta, like Atlanta is dope. There's
I
plenty of
mean,
black businesses. Like, it's
a person
sustainable
won't
though.
necessarily put it together business. I feel like people could put their money together and come up with businesses.
There you go. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like that would be like ideal. Like we can make our own communities and really build it up if we put in a pool
Mm-hmm.
and figure it out together. Like how are we gonna use this money to make a city for us or like grow into different areas. Like I feel like depending on how it's done, it could be very good. But if the education and the knowledge ain't really given with it, it may not help that much.
I mean, but it's two ways to look at it. We talking about the community in whole, or I mean, it's gonna help people. Like some people that know that's living paycheck to paycheck right now, and they know how to manage their money at this point. Like they gonna manage that like to the T because they already used to living how they living. Like they already good with their finances how they are, so they gonna be good. But some people just gonna buy 95-inch TVs and like it's
Oh
just
yeah,
gonna
they
be,
doing that and they buying jewelry.
of course, like many chains, many Jordans,
The strippers
whatever.
gonna get paid for sure.
Oh yeah, and then whatever's hot right now, fashion wise, like they might go to gallery department, and go get them a little bape or whatever the fuck is hot right now. Like it's gonna happen. Louis, like Gucci, Prada, all that shit. But it's like $350,000. If that's what it is. Like I said, it's hard to fuck that shit off. You can't really. How much can you really? I don't know. I don't know. I wonder
Hmm.
what that would mean for like like these benefits that people get, like welfare and EBT and all those things. Like, I wonder if that would like disqualify people for that if they got that 350.
Yeah, I feel like it would. Like, I definitely think those type of services would, like, we wouldn't qualify anymore, which is fine. Um,
Yeah.
but going on to something else. Now that you mentioned like Section 8 and those different type of housing and funding and things of that nature, do you believe the hood, so to say, would become pretty much suburban communities where they tear it down? You think we would fix up the hood and make it more nicer homes and it become like a more nicer, safer neighborhoods?
No. Full stop. No. It's not. That's not gonna happen. Like just because I feel like these people, it depends on how old the people are. Like some people just so used to, they already own their house. You know what I'm saying? They already own their car and everything. Like they probably not gonna try to do. If anything, they gonna try to move somewhere else.
So a lot of people would just move out of the hood. Because I feel like majority of like black people and people in general, they don't want to live in the hood. Like if they had the funds, they wouldn't live there. Because who will put their family in an area that they know ain't the safest? And second, the schools and everything, the education,
Food
and
deserts. Yeah.
yeah, all those type of things. When you start to factor in, I mean, ideally, I would like to see our communities become better instead of everyone just moving out. Like instead, like we buy the land and build it up. Like, I want to see that, but
All them folks gonna do is come through, tear that shit down, and make, what I'm saying, gentrify it. So like, yeah, they might as well just try to tear everything on the street down, rebuild it. Like you said, come together like as a real community and be like, yeah, we about to build a grocery store right here, a bank. We gonna get boom, 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 like everything.
yeah, our own schools. Um,
The school. I mean, we got our own school, but I mean, invest in education a little bit more. Because I mean, if the government not gonna do it, then maybe the community can.
yep.
Um, but
Start to create actual like standards for ourselves as a
yeah,
community.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be great. I don't think it's gonna happen in our lifetime, to be honest. Um, reparations, that is. I don't think that's gonna be, dealt out to us at all. I don't know if it's ever gonna be dealt out, but
I think it is in our lifetime. Um, I just don't think it's gonna look like what people think it's gonna look like. Like reparations is not. They don't want to just give money to people. Like I feel like necessarily that's what the government's looking at. They don't want to just give a check because then they're already having these conversations on Fox News and things like that about who would get it. Like if you're a percentage of because a black, would you even a slither, even a slither of black, would you get it?
I mean, don't blame us. Blame the slave masters for doing what they did. We ain't asked to be mixed.
Blame it for how long it took for you to get it right. Like you waited all
Yeah.
this time, and yeah, our races kind of mixed together now.
And I feel like if it don't happen by 2100, like the year 2100, like it's gonna be too far gone because it's already slavery technically ended in 1865. So it's like 1965. What has been about 130? No, damn, I can't do math right now. Maybe 160 years. 1860 by 1965. Yeah, like 150 years or something like that. So like, if it don't happen soon or before 2100, it's gonna be like, damn, that shit was so long ago.
They
So yeah,
already trying to do that now.
that's what I'm saying.
They try to find any reason not to pay up. But I still heard about that like this 90-year-old lady who was in the concentration camps. They got her in court right now for her involvement.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I was like, man,
Crazy.
that's crazy.
Mm. Ain't that
They
something?
yeah, they still going after people. Like checks are still getting drawn out and given to the Jewish community. Like they're still paying.
Yeah.
So it'd just be like, I don't know why. Like when it's paying black people, then there's so many things and reasons why. Like we're undeserving to get paid.
But America didn't do that though. So that's different. That wasn't America's fault. That was Germany's fault. You know what I mean? Nazism and stuff like that. Like that. That's why I kind of like. I don't like to draw parallels because like, unless I don't know who the reparations have gone to. I don't know. You know, for Jewish people, but we didn't. American didn't do that. So it's like America hasn't proven to atone for any of its wrongdoings. You know, to the black community. Like for the most part, especially when it comes to slavery, Jim Crow, all that shit. Like it's not. Yeah, they undid Jim Crow and segregation, but like America didn't. America not paying Jewish people. I think it's Germany. I need to fact check that actually, but
Yeah,
um,
but I mean, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic.
yeah,
So the next topic. Oh, you want? This was a story you were talking about in Idaho. I know you had a little bit more knowledge on this one. You want to go and talk about it a little bit?
yeah. I was just trying to look at where do Jewish people get reparations from. Let me see. I'm probably gonna cut this part out. I just want to see very quick. From 1945 to 2018, the German government paid approximately 86.8 billion in restitution and compensation to Holocaust victims and their heirs. So yeah, so they're getting it from Germany. So America do better. Anyway though, okay.
Yeah, Germany's paying.
Yeah. As they should, you know what I mean? Like
Like
that was
that's
some.
like yeah, they should be taking tax money out of these white people check, like how they did in Atlanta. Like
Mhm.
it's very similar to that episode. Like that's how white people
Episode.
truly do feel in Atlanta.
Oh, see, I didn't see that
The
one.
episode where reparations was given to all the black people. Like they literally had an episode like in the latest season, and white people were really they were like from my ancestors from like hundreds of years. They were like going back and dating them all. And anybody they were just losing their jobs. They had to pay. Um,
Mm.
it was very interesting concept. I'm surprised you didn't see that episode.
No, that must have been season 3. I don't think that was the latest one. But let's get into this story, this news story. That's I first heard about it. I think last month in December. Um, so it was It was four students. I can't remember the exact college. Let me actually look at this article so I can see if I can find the college. But it was a college in like southern Idaho, oh, University of Idaho. So four students were fatally stabbed in their home.
Damn, this
This
just happened.
Yeah, this happened on damn, when did this shit happen? It was like November 11th or something like that, sometime in November, and they were looking for the dude that did it or the person that did it. And there wasn't, initially there wasn't like a whole lot of information about like who did it, like because basically what happened is
All right, let's slow down a little bit.
yeah, I'm about to, yeah, that's what I'm about to. So
Okay,
for Idaho
so
go ahead.
there was four Idaho students, and were they together, or these were four separate occasions that someone got
It
stabbed?
was all in the same house, so it was six roommates. So it was three. It was a house with three floors, right? So the bottom floor was two roommates. The second floor was two roommates. The third floor was two roommates.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was, I think somebody came in on the second floor on the balcony, stabbed the two on the second floor, and stabbed the two on the third floor. The two on the
Mm.
first floor never heard anything, as they say. So, the person just came in, stabbed him, stabbed four of them to death, and just jetted off. The interesting thing is, it was literally police like that was like less than a mile away. Like it's a video of the police there, like they was messing with somebody else, but then you can see like a white Hyundai, like Elantra or whatever, like a white
Yeah.
Hyundai driving away, like in the video. And so they were
Okay.
looking for that car.
Did they get
And
a
it's
call from someone
about
about the stabbings? Like, how would the cops know to be on the lookout?
because remember the two no the cops were there for like a whole different reason. Like they would just happen to be in the area where they saw
Mm-hmm.
the and they were recording the video. Like I think it might have been was the body cam. Like, but you just saw like a white Hyundai like
Yeah.
driving away at that, like literally at that time. And
Damn. So
so
who found the bodies upstairs? Was one of the roommates?
yeah, it was one of the people or both of the people on the first floor
Okay.
found them. And so that happened, and like nobody had any information. They was like, damn, like what the fuck happened? Like people just came in and stabbed four people,
No cameras, no nothing.
nothing. So it's like so nobody knew anything. Like it was a total mystery.
There got to be somebody who know them for them to go in the second floor of the place,
Yeah,
sneak in real smooth, know where people at, like to go in a 3-story place.
exactly. And
Like,
then and that's the interesting thing, because like one of the things they were saying before they found dude was like,
with the knife
oh, like
though.
they used to have parties and shit like that. They was college kids, so they used to have parties at their crib all the
So they
time. So
were
they like
fucked up.
at that time, no. But I'm saying like maybe dude came to one of the parties and he knew the layout of the spot. You know what I mean? So that's
Man,
one of the things
that
that they're
shit
saying.
crazy. It's like somebody with a knife came in and got 4 people.
Yeah,
Only a knife.
just a
Like, and
knife.
nobody downstairs heard or like
Nobody
rushed
heard
them.
anything. No, nope.
This must have been a big house or something, cause I'm screaming.
Because one of the so like a former resident of the place was like, I used to live there years ago, and you literally can't hear anything from the other floors, because he said he used to live on the first floor where the other people were that are alive. He said he never used to hear his roommates upstairs. So like I guess it's just good insulation or something like in the house. But so fast forward to they find the white Hyundai Elantra. Dude is in Pennsylvania now. Remember, this happened in Idaho. Dude is in Pennsylvania somehow with his family. Drove the Hyundai all the way there with his pops, because his pops came to get him. They drove the Hyundai from Idaho to Pennsylvania, and now they're just trying to break down and see like what the fuck, who this guy is. Like, who is he? Why would he do this? What's the motive? And like you said, he had to have known at least, because it was three girls and one dude. So one of the things they saying
Oh,
is
he
like
killed
maybe
3 girls and one dude.
yeah. So like
Mm.
they're thinking like, did he
It was a
know one of the
co-ed house.
girl? Yeah, yeah. I think it was two girls, two dudes in there, and four girls.
Oh, okay. It's making a little bit more. Cause I was like, how does dude go in here and just rush 4 guys
Oh no, 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 no,
with
no,
with the
no.
knife?
Yeah, nah. So I mean, yeah. So like they just trying to get his background and like his profile and try to figure out why the fuck he did this. Did he know them? Did he was it just some random shit? Did he just happen to just walk into a random house and do it? So like
And he
that's
just
basically what's
crazy.
going on.
But he was with his father, so his they took the father in, or
Nah, so he happened. So no, they just came and got him. They just came and got him. So I guess he was like a PhD student. He was like in his first semester of PhD at like a Washington college, and he actually studied criminology, which is interesting. Like he's getting his PhD in criminology, and so it's like,
oh, they
like
got
what's he
his
doing?
name right here,
Yep,
Brian Koberger.
yeah, they got everything now at this point.
Made the 2,500-mile road trip home with his dad and was pulled over twice along the way, according to his public defender.
hmm
Damn.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't really have no big point to say. I know it's like a big thing right now. That people are talking about. I don't know if everybody else has heard about it yet, but it's just interesting, just because like
People are sick.
yeah, people are really sick, and it's like, why would he just? Why would anybody just? I just want to know the motive. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? Like, we saw all these mass shootings in 2022, and it's just like, a mass stabbing. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, stories like this, like they're gonna come up with like some type of documentary or something on it
Yeah, yeah, they might.
because he traveled 2,500 miles with
hmm
his father.
With his father. Yep.
So he was aware of what he was doing. Like he knew that he had to get out of town. He had to let his father know.
Yeah.
So they had to come up with a plan. I
No,
don't know
no, 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 no.
what were they planning to do. Like go out the
No, I
country.
don't think he left immediately though. I think he just chilled and kicked it, and then he left for like Christmas or something like that, or like Thanksgiving. So he was still there. You know what I
Or
mean? So I don't.
he was just living like nothing happened.
Yeah, yeah, that's basically what it is. I think. Don't quote me on that. 'Cause I'm trying to find. There's a lot of articles on this. Um,
Yeah, like Jeffrey
but
freaking Dahmer.
yeah, the pops didn't know, as far as we know. But I don't know. Motherfuckers crazy, man. Things like this is just gonna continue to happen just because they've been happening for decades, centuries. You know what I mean? So just another interesting story that I find interesting. A lot of people don't really like this shit though. A lot of people like the true crime shit and just like stories of this nature. Like they kind of like find it morbid or whatever. But it's just kind of I think it's interesting, especially because he was a PhD student in criminal justice. And it's like, was he doing that shit just to learn the tricks of the trade to so he can get away with more crimes? Like, is this his first crime?
He might have
Like,
just got. He could have been one of those stories who got too deep into the stories and infatuate with the stories,
yeah,
and maybe it kind of took him over mentally,
it's possible.
where he felt like, oh, I can. If I did this, like he felt like he was an expert. He knew exactly how to get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say it might be a documentary on this.
No, it definitely should be. And there's some of the people that have known him. Like, I seen something today. Like, some dude that knew him in high school was like, yeah, he was like really aggressive. He used to just come up and put me in a chokehold and punch me and all that shit. So it's like it seems like he wasn't like a super normal guy. And like I think like girls that knew him was like, oh, he was creepy and like he just was
In high
very
school,
forward. Yeah, like, or just in general, because he was in college too at some point. So girls that have been around him was like, oh nah, like he's weird. Like he just can't. He comes on too strong. You know what I mean? So some people are like, did one of the girls reject him? And then he was like, oh, I can't take it no more. Like I gotta take her off. Like I don't know what it was, but
it could be anything.
it really
Like
could be.
we would never know. But I hope he goes and like he tells the truth, talks about the story and like what was going on and like why did he do what he did? Because I mean, even though it's fucked up, it's important like data to understand
Yeah.
future possibility or killings that may happen and try to stop it early on. So I mean, I hope he actually talks about it to the cops and explains to the reporters. And I really want to know, do he even feel sorry or any type of remorse?
Now that's a good question because most of the times they don't.
Yeah, especially for you just going about as you said, you just living his daily life like nothing happened. I can't imagine him having any remorse.
Nah, he can't. Like, cause like, do you understand how bloody that crime? Like, stabbing somebody and shooting somebody is totally like that's different.
That's very
Stabbing somebody to
personal.
kill somebody, yeah, that's very personal, and it's just like the visual. If you the person doing this, and it's like this is what you seeing yourself doing this 4 times.
Yeah, you looking at the people.
You looking them in their face while you doing the shit, and then
Yeah,
you walked out and you just living life like
like you
shit.
did
Cool.
you did it one time, and then you left and went to another room and did to somebody else 4 times.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, he probably doesn't have any remorse or any like.
That sound like a hit.
You think so? I don't
It
know.
sounded like he knew who he wanted.
But then why would he kill all four of them?
It must have been all of them.
I mean, shit, it's possible, but
Like it could be group chats, whatever.
yeah,
Like
it's possible.
I don't know. He heard something. That's why I don't even want to like talk about what it could have been.
I mean, we're already here now.
I
Like,
can't I can't I can't I feel like it probably was something super petty, like some college stuff. Like maybe his girl was
hmm,
getting, or the girl he was talking to, like act like she was into him, but it was all just jokes amongst her and her friends.
damn.
And then he became like kind of like the butt of the joke.
I think that
But
that could be possible. So he was like 28, or he is 28. The kids were like 21 and 20. So like,
mm,
yeah, that's possible. He could have
he
found
he
them
could
on
have been like
Tinder.
that older guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
this dude's so weird.
right.
Yeah,
Laughing in the group chat, and then yeah, it's possible. Or maybe he just killed him. Maybe it was random, and he just killed the other ones because um they heard it. You know what I mean? Like, cause
to even go after woman or ladies in general, um, that's that's something else in itself. You went after a lady, three of them.
three of them.
Like already, it already just seems a little. Why would you do that?
But that's what I'm saying. He probably has, like I said, I was hearing like the history of him, like girls rejecting him and all that type of shit. So he could be like one of them, like incel type of niggas that just never, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like one of them type of dudes. So,
and I mean, I feel sorry for the families.
oh, for sure. That should have been off top. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, off top, like the families. I know we're just talking about this because the story's new, and people want to hear about this stuff. Like this is in Idaho. You wouldn't think of like something like this will happen from a state like Idaho.
Yeah. Yeah.
So rest in peace to all the victims involved and the families, especially so close to the holidays. The story's coming up, but hopefully they prosecute this person and justice does happen.
Man, I surely hope so. But yeah, like you said, condolences to the families and all that shit. If we offended y'all, hopefully we didn't. But if we did, my apologies. But let's move on, man. Let's move on to the next thing. You mentioned something about like what if he did it for a petty reason, like on some like oh she ain't want me type shit. Like, and you also have this topic here about things that we do that might be petty and things like that. I don't know. I don't really consider myself a super petty person. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's like that drives you? Like that's your main like emotion?
No, when I thought of this question, I didn't think of it as something that drives me.
Mm,
Like, no, it's just people have petty things that they do in general that they don't care. They be like, they may know it's like petty, but it's still like, I just don't want to do it. Um, like when I originally was thinking of this, I thought of something petty that I do. Like, if someone asked me to say, "Hey, can you tell your family and everything?" We said, "Hey."
yeah.
Like I'm not gonna doing that. I'm gonna be like, yeah, okay, okay. Like I'll let my pops know, or I'll let my moms know. Like I
Yeah.
always say, yeah, but like, nah, I'm not doing that. Like, If you want to talk to somebody, hit them up.
I mean, I feel that.
I don't know. I feel like that's like petty. Like that's not a driving thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's just like a momentary thing. No, that's real. I do kind of feel that. Like, you got his phone number, like, or you got her phone number, just hit her up. If you want to say hey, but because like low key, like if we just talking about that specific situation, when people say that, like they don't really care about who they talking about. Like they just want to make it seem like they fuck with it. Like you said, if it's your pops, like, oh, tell your pops I said, like, you don't even really like that nigga like that. You just want to make it seem like, oh, I'm asking about you, so you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean.
I
So
mean,
like,
it may be they really do like fuck with them. Like, I mean, we're thinking about it in a negative way. But either if it's negative or positive, I don't care. That's just me being petty.
what you mean? Okay,
Like,
now that's where the petty comes. Okay.
yeah, it's just like it didn't matter if you was genuine or not genuine with the love. It's just like the message probably is not going to be conveyed if you ask me to do it.
See, and I think that's where we differ because I feel like you said, if it has to be, you said whether it's negative or positive. I feel like if I'm doing something petty, it's of because I perceive what you doing as negative, so my response is petty. You know what I mean? I don't just do petty shit just to like be petty. I don't think.
Like what?
I can't even really think of nothing. Like, this one of them things, like when it comes to like what's something that you do that's petty, or like what's something that you do blah 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 blah. Like, I would need somebody to tell me, somebody that's around me to tell me what I do that's petty, because I just be doing shit. I don't really be thinking too much about like what I do. You know what I mean? I don't know. I can't really think of nothing petty I do. Um,
Yeah, it's all perception for sure. If you don't reflect and think about it, like you're like, it is what it is. Like, but I don't know. It's like you may be so adamant in your answers. It's just like it's not being petty to you. It's just like you just don't want to do this shit. Like I may think of it be like, oh, you just being petty.
yeah,
Well, that's why you don't want to do it.
but it's just like, nah, like it's just that's just how I feel at this very moment. Like,
It's not that you could. It's like sometimes like oh we're going to do something. We're like nah. Like
what's some
it's
petty
literally
shit?
no reason why not, you probably don't want to do it
Yeah,
or get something, whatever it is. Just like you just don't feel like the shit.
I think it would have to be something like when it kind of like being polite and shit like that. Like, something petty. Like, if I do something, like say I hold the door for you and you don't say thank you or something like that, something of that nature. Like,
Hmm.
I'm already gonna look at you in a, like, I'm gonna be petty to you from that moment on. Like, that's the type of petty I am, because it's like, damn, I didn't even really had to hold this shit for you for real. So you ain't gonna say nothing. Then it's like, now every time I see you is up at this point. So like that's the type of petty I am. I feel like, but then I feel like that don't even really happen a lot either. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why what you said is like, no, I've opened the door for somebody. Ideally, I'm probably not gonna see that person again
Yeah, I mean, if I'm talking about like
because
at
it's
work
normally
though,
random.
it is random. But like, it may be at work and shit like that. Like, maybe somebody that I've seen around, like, oh, like, yo, holding this door, like, something of that nature. Like, I don't know. I don't really view
I ain't
myself
never
as
had
a petty
nobody at
person.
work do that.
Like, not say nothing.
Yeah, just not say nothing.
Like, some people just be about their day, just move on about their day. Like, yep, okay, don't say a goddamn thing, which is cool though. That's fine. But I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking of something specific. That's why I kind of had to come up with that. Like, I had to formulate some shit because I really can't even think of nothing for real.
All right, I mean we could just move on then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. All right. Let's get into this last topic that we have for y'all folks today. Let me remind myself what it is. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So you would this was another topic that you brought up about Jordans, which I already know historically you don't really fuck with Jordans like that. Like, I might have seen you with like maybe two pairs of Jordans ever.
Yeah, I believe Jordans are uncomfortable shoes.
Yeah, which disagree, but okay, let's talk through it then. Like, why do you say that?
All the Jordans that I got, they're not comfortable shoes to walk around in. Like I feel like a lot of times when you get Jordans, you're not really trying to crease them. That's for one. They kind of like It's a real rubbery shoe, like just bulky kind of shape. It's not form fitting to your foot. Um,
Yeah. I mean, disagree, but yeah, I feel you.
and I feel like just walking it just feels heavy. I guess when I wear like certain other shoes now, like that I start wearing, like I'm one of those people where I wear like flip flops, Crocs, like now Yeezys, shoes that like even like a New Balances back in the day, like they fit real comfortable to your feet. They're just like real light,
Yeah, yeah.
like they're just comfortable shoes. Like I'm more into that.
I don't think you ever had no, because some of the Jordans are uncomfortable. Like fives are uncomfortable.
All right, so I'm gonna point out some shoes.
Okay,
Um, the ones that I had,
okay. I know I've seen you in some fives before.
maybe I know I have some had some Space Jams. Those were eights. Um, I had what was it? Cool Blues, I believe. Um, definitely had 11s. So I had 11, 8. I had some ones.
Eights are cozy, but they're just big as hell.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just didn't like at the time. I thought I was just going along like, oh, Jordans just cost a lot, and niggas fuck with Jordans,
Yeah,
and I just got them. But it's like I just never really rock with them like on a daily basis. I couldn't wear those shoes every day, like around and about.
crazy thing is that's really all I wear. I mean, I do have a pair of Yeezys that I really love. Like the Yeezys that I have are so comfortable, bro. Like it's actually ridiculous. And I just got this new pair of New Balance that are super comfortable too. But it's
Yeah, they're comfortable shoes.
no, they are for sure. But it depends on what number you get with the Jordans. Like 13s, I love that's one of my favorites is 13s. Those are comfortable to me. Like the padding on the inside. But a lot of the things about Jordans, it's not that they're not comfortable for me. It's that they big as hell. Like they just boats. Like they big ass boat shoes.
I guess they all supposed to be like basketball shoes, right?
I mean, yeah, but
So
like even like okay, so like the Kobe's or like the
they're
KDs or the
supposed to have like
Kyries,
support to it, or maybe like a heavier type of.
they do. But there's so many other good. But it's so many shoes like basketball shoes that's small as hell, like low tops. Like you don't even need all that. It's really the design, like for Jordan.
Is
Like
that
that's
not
really what
even
it was.
weird to like to think about? Like, why do black people wear basketball shoes around everywhere?
We like basketball. What you mean? Like Michael Jordan. It's because who it is. Like we don't wear Shaqs every day.
Like, I don't know.
We don't wear Shaqs every day. We don't wear Patrick Ewings every day. We wear Jordans because Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time to some people.
Yeah, but like when you going somewhere nice or like, it shouldn't be like the shoe of choice.
Like some people wear it to their wedding and shit. Like they'll like wear like a Jordan 1 like with they suit.
Like you should have like walking around normally. You would think people would just have on casual walking shoes and things of that nature, not walking around in Jordans all the time.
What does a casual walking shoe look like? It's probably ass. It's probably like
Like
not
casual walking, like
fire.
like Nike shoes, like the athletic casual walking running. Those are casual shoes.
No, them not for us. You know we
What
we like
Air
to drip.
Maxes? Air Maxes are what? Casual shoes?
No, they
Like
are. They
those.
are. Everybody don't like those.
Roches.
Them outdated though. Like ain't nobody wearing no Roaches these
Not
days.
after Yeezy came out.
Exactly. So it's like I don't know. Air
Because they
Max,
were Yeezy so much more comfortable.
yeah. Well, I never had Roaches, but Yeezys are comfortable. But I don't know. I just think we like to drip. We like to look fashionable. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what it is. And like I said, if it wasn't Jordan, if it wasn't Michael
I
Jordan
feel like that
shoes,
style is just outdated. Like I feel like that's one of those things that black people need to like lay off on is Jordans.
nah, bro. If
Like
anything, because of the prices and the price it costs to make them versus how much they charge. Yes, I feel you on that, but they still
releasing
look
the
good.
same shoe over and over again, like
It's
give
different
it up.
colors though. It's different colors. Like I don't know. I always just been a sneakerhead myself. So it's something I'm not gonna give up like ever. Like I probably bought at least 10 pairs of shoes this year. Um, I probably wore like two of them and keeping them on ice. So, but I feel you though. I feel like we was talking about reparations. Like niggas going Jordan crazy. Like niggas is buying all the
Yeah, and
ones.
they gonna get the most expensive ones too. They get the
Yeah,
collector item joints.
them
They
Travis
want.
ones, like the off white joints. Like yeah, niggas going crazy. Cause
Hmm.
like I don't know, man. Sometimes we just like to or try to keep up appearances because we think, like you said, like this is what it is. Like you said, like you said, like
Jordans. The thing is, like Jordans today are not really expensive shoes anymore.
yeah, they are.
I'm talking
They
about when they come out at retail price. What is it? 180 still?
220, 225.
20 to 25. I'm like when other like popular shoes, Adidas, something like that, like comes out, or even the Air Max or what they have. What else Nike got? Dunks and things like that.
Yeah,
Those are
Dunks be like
normally,
110.
yeah. I mean, no, yeah, they probably like between 140, 220 range, whatever.
Yeah,
In terms of like shoes and things like of that nature, that's not an expensive shoe.
I mean,
Well, you got all these designer brands and things of that nature, and people making
yeah.
shoes.
No, that's true. Like the designers, them shit's ugly though. Like the Balenciagas and the whatever the fuck niggas be wearing. That's designer. Like, but no, they're not. They're not
Cause I imagine
expensive.
people who wear design mostly shoes, they probably think Jordan's like, what the fuck? I wouldn't wear those. Or even like casual type of
Like
shoe,
loafers and
like
shit like that.
leather, things of that nature or whatever.
Yeah,
They probably not gonna wear that shit.
yeah, exactly. They probably wouldn't because that's really a whole different like.
They'd be like, that's a gym shoe. Like they're just like the way that I even said it is like, why are you just wearing a basketball shoe around? Like you're not at the gym.
I feel you, but they look good. You know what I mean? I feel like some people just still think that they look good, and that's really what it is. Like niggas, I
Hmm.
ain't played basketball so long. I'm still wearing Jordans, and I'm not about to wear no Nike walking shoes every day because it's not. That's not the drip. Like that's not. Like it just is what it is. Like you got to have
Yeah,
some like sense of style to yourself. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel you.
Some people care about
Yeah, I
clothes.
mean, if people like Jordans, they like Jordans. Like if that's the style that you want, but I mean, there's just plenty of shoes. I don't know. I go more like for comfortability now. Like that's all how I've always been in terms of like clothing. Like I wear comfortable stuff.
No, I totally 100% feel that. But like, what's the other than Yeezys, which is the same price, other than Air Max was a little bit less. Like
New
Adidas,
Balances or Adidas. I mean, there's other Nike shoes that are super comfortable.
but like they probably don't even look as good as Jordan. I don't know, man. We gonna get off of this shit because we can probably go back and forth. But yeah, all in all, sometimes Jordans do be uncomfortable. Like I said, the fives, and some of them do be comfortable, like 13s and shit like that. But I do feel where you're coming from on that. But with that being said, man, let's move on to this. I guess we can move on to the next segment, which is love and hate. So we bring love and hate to
Yeah,
2023. You already know what the
let's
fuck going
go.
on with this shit. Um,
3 tracks:
mhm.
love, hate. You hate any part of the song, it's automatic hate. If you love it in its entirety, then it's love.
Yes, sir. All right, I'll start with you right quick. So let's go with your number one, which is Drowning Part 2 featuring Kodak. That's A Boogie?
Yeah. So the first track that it came out, this was years ago. A Boogie just came out with his new album.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So this is part two to that Water Drowning hit that he made years ago. It was a smash between him and Kodak that was on that track. And I feel like they just try to recreate the magic. It was kind of a similar beat, switched up a little bit, and of course new verses and things of that nature. But after listening to the track, I think Kodak's been a little bit on a tear when it comes to features lately. Like he's been spitting at a high level. Um, but I feel like they should have just left this one alone.
Yeah, probably.
Um, I feel like they should just try to create something new. Why make a part two to this? Nobody was asking for it. Nobody wanted it. Um, the verses and they were okay. The hook was nah. I mean, just copying over and over again, kind of similar to the first one. And it's just like it's 2023 now. Like I don't want to hear the same kind of song. Um, I don't know. It just seems like you hungry to eat off your last smash that happened years ago. Like you doing that this late in the game, like this many years after the original track came out. It seemed a little thirsty. Well, I'm gonna say I hate the song. It's hate for sure.
Yeah, he been gone for so long, so I guess I can kind of see why he was just trying to maybe build buzz again. Like, oh, I got this Drowning Part Two for
No,
y'all.
he's been dropping projects. Like I've been listening to him every once in a while.
Okay, okay. Well, I
Um,
don't know why he did this shit then.
yeah, I don't know either. Like he always talks about how people still in style trying to run with it, and it's just like all these years later, like you really ain't where people thought you should be at this point. Like the run that you had, and how much love you had when you first came in the game. We see that his flame is starting to diminish a bit. People ain't really looking for him. The new classes came in, and he's kind of one of those forgotten people, like him and Don Q, kind of like the same New York that people don't really talk about no more.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, once Pop Smoke came, it really erased all that shit that they did.
And
To be
Fabio,
honest, sure. Yeah,
people
Five
start
Year
coming
too.
in on the drill too. Like New York went with that. They wasn't down with that A Boogie Don Q kind of style. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, shit. I didn't like the original, to be honest. The first one, the first Drowning. But yeah,
I
I
fuck
don't
with
see
it.
why he would come. I don't know why he would come back with that. They couldn't. They could have did some other new fire shit. Like,
I'm sure like they could have like they both are artists of pretty good talent. Like I feel like they both was like in the what same class, double XL or whatever. Um, but yeah, just they could have did a lot better. But all right, let me go ahead and get to your first track here. Um, NX Worries, Where I Go, featuring Anderson .Paak and her.
yeah, no worries. Which is knowledge. Well, no worries is really knowledge. The producer and Anderson Pack. I don't know how to say it. Their duo. So they got her on a new track. You said it was called Where I Go. I forgot what shit was called. Where I
Yep, Where I
Go.
Go.
But yeah, man, I've been waiting for a new No Worries project since that first one. And this single was sounding good though. Like I always love Knowledge's beats. He's like real different, and I like his beats. Of course, Anderson .Paak came through and did his thing. I heard one of the most prolific stars, singers right now. You know, guitarist, singer, all that shit. So they really couldn't go wrong with this shit. Like it was great to me. I fuck with it. Um, it had like a real nice vibe, like a nice little R&B type. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them type of joints. So check that shit out if you know.
You let Anderson .Paak on it?
Yeah, no, I did. When him and
You had a
Knowledge
lot of
worked together,
comments. You had a lot of comments about him last year about you felt he could have did better. Yeah, he could have had a better year when it
he
came
could have.
to songs and things that came out. But that's good to hear. Like he kind of ended the year off strong with this track.
Yeah, cause have you heard that? Have you heard that original No Worries project? That shit was like 2015. But yeah,
What
like
was the
I've
name
been
of it?
waiting.
I don't know.
Damn, what was the name of that shit? I can't even really remember. Let me see. It was called Yes Lord.
I might have heard, but I probably didn't.
Okay, yeah. That was 2016 actually. Like, yeah. So I've been waiting on Anderson. Once I heard that Anderson Pack, I've been waiting on that Anderson Pack, and I haven't heard him yet. So
Yeah, I got onto Anderson .Paak. I probably when everybody else, mainly everybody else, got onto Anderson .Paak.
I remember that Dr. Dre album he was on, whatever that shit was called. Damn, what was this shit called? I think it was like 2015. That's when I first heard of him. But regardless, I'm gonna say love on this one, and I'm gonna move on to the next joint. So let's talk about uh, St. John stadiums with St. John and London on the track, which I think they having a whole project soon.
I'm not sure, but this track he just came out with, it was kind of late December. Came out with this track called Stadiums, as Matt said. Him and London on the track, which is the producer. And it's a very St. John sounding song, but I wasn't impressed by it. This track was very, I would say, boring. Like straight up, that's kind of how I felt about when I heard it. I didn't like the hook. It was just repeating itself. It wasn't even a really even a good hook that just could to continuously repeat like that, in my opinion. Um, the verses wasn't too impressive. Like I just heard a lot more better songs from St. John on this project. And this kind of almost seems like it was like a throwaway from like his old project or something. Like it, I hope this ain't something he's been working on recently.
Well, yeah, because I'm taking a look at it right now. It looks like they are planning on dropping the album together, like a London on the Track produced album by St. John. So maybe it is recent, maybe it's old. I'm not too sure, but I wouldn't even put them two together though. That's kind of random to me, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
he got to be a little bit more creative, like on the project because this was real disappointing. This track that I just heard. Like I just downloaded it today, and I'm deleting it today. Um, so let me go ahead and go to your next one. Sabibi Traction.
yeah, Shy Baby, he just dropped his whole project. Damn, I can't. I'm really not good with names of projects and shit like that. Sometimes, unless I like know it. What was his project called that he just dropped? It was let's see. Leak out, yeah, leak out, yeah. So this was the first track, and I think this one I'm gonna start doing like in terms of like just choosing a track off of the album that I like. I'm just gonna choose the intro if I'm listening to an album. Like so, the intro to the leak out. It was cool. Like if you listen to Side Baby and you like Side Baby's music, then you'll like the intro. Like it wasn't nothing like groundbreaking for him. Like it was cool. I don't know if I was expecting anything different because Side Baby is always kind of in that same pocket for real. But
I didn't
um,
even know he would even release, but I'm excited to listen to this.
yeah, I think it came out like a couple weeks ago. But it was cool. Like I did like the song, but I can't say like that I was super blown away by the whole project or by this song. So I'm gonna say hate on this one, unfortunately. But all right, let's move on to the next joint. Last one for you is "Old Ways" by Young Dolph. Love or hate?
All right, so RIP to Young Dolph. He just came out with his posthumous album. Um, it was a really good project. Paper Route Frank came out at the end of the year. There was some really good tracks on here that I really liked. Old Ways in particular, I love this track. This is probably one of my favorite tracks off his project. Along with Whoa, like it was good to hear Young Dolph music, and I can tell that he definitely made these songs before he went. Um, yeah, it sounded like he was still here. Like that's when I listened to this project. Of course, like he probably wanted to put all these songs on the album, but overall, I think they chose some really good tracks to go on the project. It's short and sweet, 38 minutes, 13 tracks. Um, so make sure you go ahead and give it some streams. Paper Route Frank. It's Dolph.
Yeah, I don't. We talked about posthumous albums on here before. Like I don't know, cause like you said, I don't know if he would have put them songs together like that.
Probably not.
So I guess I'll check it out eventually though. Um, that's one of the things that just hurts sometimes. Like when people do die, like you can't really hear no new music from them. Like that's one of the things that hurts the most.
Yeah,
But
but it's still good to me. I like hearing the old stuff. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna drop more albums to come. I'm sure more albums is
hmm
coming.
I think a takeoff. I heard something about like a new takeoff album dropping soon too. So guess we'll be
You
on
want
the
to hear
lookout.
that?
Nah. I don't honestly,
Uh,
but we're talking about posthumous, so like. You know,
I'm not looking forward to that. All right,
like
so
yeah.
go, you got something else to say about Takeoff?
Now I was gonna say the whatever that Quavo and Takeoff album was. I heard that recently. Like that was
Trash.
I won't say it's trash. It was some good songs on there, but overall, like you know. But all right, let's move on to the next joint before we slander
I'm
this
only
dead
talking
man.
about the music. I'm not talking about him as a person at all. People like that's not what I'm trying to do. We
Yeah.
only talk. This is a music segment. So let's go ahead and talk about this last track. Travis Porter, like that.
Yes, sir. Travis Porter, like this is one of the groups that like I won't say I grew up on because I was probably like 15, 16 when I was listening to him, but this was they was my go tos back in the day. So I was listening to old Travis Porter and I was like, oh, here goes some new Travis Porter that came out last year. So I'm like, let me listen to the intro. The intro was cool. It was actually not too bad. Like it was same. It was the same vein. Like I was just talking about with Sa Baby. Like they kind of kept it to that same like party type music. Like
Do you want artists to change?
it depends on who the artist is. If the artist needs to change, then yes.
What type of artists are you that you feel like should change?
Somebody that doesn't have their own style. So like if you come on and you emulating somebody else, then you need to change. You need to come into your own. You know what I mean? Like if we're talking about a Dolph, like nobody sounds like Young Dolph. So he can continue to do the same thing that he keeps doing and doing and doing because his style is so unique and it's just like that's Young Dolph. So he doesn't need to change. But if like his son started rapping, he sounded like Young Dolph, and be like, yo, you need to get your own style. You know what I mean? So, but in terms of this song though, like
I
that,
guess
like
I
it
was
was
thinking more or less into bigger name rappers. Um, when you talk about like a Sabibi, or we're talking about the artists that you just mentioned, Travis Porter, who's been in the game for years, came out with plenty of music. It's like, do you expect them to change their style up every time,
no,
or oh,
it,
so you're happy with like
no, I'm good. I'm good with that. Like
okay,
I don't want Travis Porter to come out and start rapping on boom bap shit and like trying to be Griselda or some shit like that. Like they some nigga from Atlanta, they love to party. Like that's what it is. So let's keep it that way.
yeah, I'm just saying in terms of like love and hate, it's like when you're thinking about the track, it's like if that's what you expected, then it should be love, unless it was like something. What exactly different you looking for from it?
That I don't know. I feel like it's the feeling that I used to get from the music back then. Like when I was like, oh, I need to hear this shit like again and again and again. You know what I mean? And that's not really what I got from the Sa Baby shit or from the Travis Porter. So I guess I gotta say hit on this one too because it's
I
not.
feel like Sababy, if that's how you say it, whatever, Sababy or Sabibi. What always drew me to his music was his punchlines. Like they're just witty, and something like his hooks and stuff like that. They're witty. It's there almost like that's kind of how I view Future in a sense. Like, I think his wordplay and bars are just witty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like similar kind of fashion. So that's why I'm excited to hit the project. But I'm hoping, since you
Like it's
said
good.
you heard it or
It's
whatever,
good.
like it's
No, it's good. But it's just like
but
not. It's not.
yeah.
It's not mind blowingly like oh my god. Like
Hmm.
you know what I mean. So
I like artists to do something different. Me particularly. I want artists to show growth. I don't want them to continuously put out the same project, especially artists that I really like. Like when I listen to the baby, I don't know. Maybe it's just with monotone artists. They just it's hard for them to sound or switch the flow or the sound of the track up. Like yeah, it's like they definitely put like different flows or they rap a bit different, but it still kind of almost sounds the same when I listen to like a the baby track
but what
or
about
like
like a Currency though? Like Currency's been rapping at the same pace with the same tone for like a decade at least. But his shit
Hmm.
still, you know what I'm saying? Like his shit still slap.
Yes, but that's because I feel like he became better lyrically, and,
Hmm.
and I feel like he became a better rapper, Currency, over time.
I would hope so. Yeah, I think he did.
Um, yeah, like J. Cole, in my opinion, is monotone, and it just like it all kind of sounds a little similar. Like the music, like it's not much playfulness, and I mean, of course, like he definitely did like later on, and now with his music, he attempts to do it, play with his voice and stretch it out. Whether he does it electronically or whatever, like he tries to do it. Um, or like Nas, I know a lot of people said that. I feel like people think Nas is monotone, like it's just kind of similar sounding. Um, yeah, but getting back to the point, I want my artists to try to do something different. Like I don't want them to continuously put out the same project. It's like I can just listen to the old shit.
That's true. That's true. Like something different, but not too much different. Like not like a hundred. Like if we were talking about Playboy Cardi, like Die Lit versus Whole Lot of Red, like that's like that shit don't sound the
Hmm.
same at all. But I like that though. I like that
Yeah,
for him. But some artists I don't like that for, like because I like what you was doing before. You know what I
right.
mean? So it all depends on
Or
who it is.
Future, like when he came out, Future Hendrix.
Yeah,
Like,
I like that.
yeah, I liked it.
Yeah,
Like
like
just so
that's
many different styles and like, but it's like a lot of artists they just can't do it though.
yeah.
'Cause I know that there was definitely some artists that came out with double albums that were just like garbage. I can't remember who it was.
Drake, Scorpion. Who
The
else?
thing is, with Scorpion, I actually didn't mind Scorpion.
No, that shit was garbage to me.
Like I still go back and listen to some of those tracks. Like maybe that's just unpopular opinion, but I like Scorpion.
No, some of them was good, but as a double album, like as a full project, nah, not for me. But let's move. Let's go ahead and close this shit out because we gonna sit here and talk about every album under the sun. Um, but man, thank you for listening, man. This has been the Friends. Oh wait, do we want to do highlights? All right. Yeah, I guess I'll highlight. Since we on the music shit right now, I'll highlight this artist that I heard sometime last month named Luh Tyler from somewhere in Florida. Maybe Orlando. I don't fucking know. Tallahassee. Who knows? Luh Tyler. He's like 16 or 17 years old. He had this song called Law and Order Part Two, and it's just a vibe. Like he just slid on the beat to be honest, and it was just like it was a breath of fresh air for some reason. Like it was just dope hearing like a young kid just like he was just flowing on that shit. Like I don't know. You got to hear the song and like understand what I'm talking about. But shout out to Lil Tyler. Listen to Law and Order Part Two. All right, what you got?
I want to shout out Quinta Brunson and the success and with Alabama Elementary, of course. Um, her changing how sitcoms were really going. People weren't really tuning in like that. She's driving ratings, and people just love a good old fashioned comedy. It's not trying to be too serious, like kind of like Blackish, in my opinion. Like I feel like they try to get to like they went over some good topics, but I feel like it was too much instead of just being funny. Like instead of just focus on being funny, like I feel like they overdid it. Like Chappelle, like he talks about, or Key and Peele, they talked about some of those topics, but I feel like the gist of it was to be funny. And I want to send a shout out to Quinta Brunson. Continued success with Abbott Elementary. I'm loving the show, as I know many people are, and yeah, I'm very excited to see future projects and shows that she may come up with. It could be like Insecure, like how old girl started building up, and I don't want to compare another black woman, I guess, but
What you mean started who? Issa? How she built it
yeah,
up?
yeah, because she had Insecure, and then like she had all that success, and people loved the show, and then like we just started seeing Issa everywhere, and then she started being in movies with superstars, and So it may be like a similar kind of story with her.
I can see it. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Which is
So
interesting because they both started on social media too. Because Issa had that show on YouTube, and then of course Quinta was on like Vine and shit like that back in the day. So it's like it's dope to see like those people translate that. But
for
um,
sure.
but yeah, man, this has been the Friends Podcast. If you got this far, thank you for listening, and we out. Peace out.
Peace.